Welcome to a new unit of the Python Fundamentals series. In this video, we're going to learn a lot more about strings. Let's recap that a string is a data type in Python, and that essentially means it's a list of letters. Now, you should know one thing about Python strings. Each character in Python strings is a string itself, or to put it differently, strings are nothing but a list of character strings. We've seen this behavior of strings when we learnt about for loops. We were able to iterate, that is, go through each letter of the string and print it. And each letter, essentially, was a string. The benefit of this approach is that we can do all sorts of interesting things with strings. We can do these things with letters, too, because they're also strings. It's pretty neat, right? Python has a concept called array. We'll learn more about it later on. However, for now, you can consider them as lists with a handy way to access each individual item. Strings behave like arrays too. Let's see this. Imagine a variable, let's say fun_word. It holds the word wowza in it. If we visualize it as an array, it looks something like this. The numbers are called index values, and they denote the position of the letter in the array. Now I gotcha. Counting in arrays starts with 0. To access any particular letter, we can use square brackets, and inside the brackets, put the index value. So what it means is that to access the second letter of fun_word, you can simply say fun_word 1. When we try printing fun_word 1, it prints, yeah, you guessed it correctly, the string O. Let's see another example. Imagine if we have another string works with sentences. When we visualize it as an array, here's how it looks at the 0 position. We have W, and at first position we have O, and so on and so forth. Now, see what we have at the 5th position. It seems empty. It's actually the space letter, which is a valid string if we were to print the letter at 5th position. That is, works with sentences 5. We'll see nothing, but in reality, a space character will be printed. Now, I must point out a minor difference between array variables and strings. You can't change an item at a particular position by giving it a different value. That is, if you try assigning wordy 0 the value b, it'll just give you an error. I guess we should move on and learn a few more things about strings. If you ever need to find the length of a string, there's a very useful function called len. Let's see a few examples. Remember, functions have brackets around them, and you can pass variables or values inside them. The len function also works that way. It takes string as a parameter and gives you an integer that is the length of that string. There are a few more handy functions. The first one is called strip. It gets rid of white spaces that are present at the start and the end of the string. White space is a term used for spacebars or tabs. In this example, if we use the strip function with a string hello world, that is, a string that starts and ends with white spaces, you simply get hello world. Remember, the strip function doesn't remove any spaces that are between letters. It retains them. You should also note that the way to use a strip function is a little different from the len function. In this case, you write the string first, followed by a period, and then strip with brackets. The difference between the len and strip functions will be clear to us when we learn more about classes. For now, you can remember that strip is used differently than len, and casting functions like int and float, etc., etc. One last topic we'll cover in this video is that of splicing. That is, accessing only certain parts of the string. Splicing is very similar to the access via index value inside square brackets, except In the case of splicing, you pass on a range, two numbers separated by a colon. Let's look at an example. In this case, items from 0 to 5 will return light, and items 5 to 9 will return blue. Cool. Let's look at more examples. In this case, letters from the index 1 to 3 get printed, that is the string EL. In this second case, it prints letters from the index 2 till 4, that is the string LL. And in this last case, letters from the index 2 till 5 are printed, LLO. There are a few special shortcuts in case of splicing. If you don't specify the starting index, it's assumed to be 0, that is the start of the string. Similarly, if you don't specify the ending index, it's assumed to be the length of the string and returns to the end of the string. Can you guess what happens if we don't provide the starting index as well as the ending index? Yep, it just returns the whole string. Awesome! We have come to the end of this unit. It was a bit dense. However, this unit contains a lot of handy methods that help us write really useful programs. Oh, please don't forget to practice these various string manipulation techniques. In the next unit, we're going to make use of these functions to create